You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by our friend, Ethan Euchre.
I am here, and I am your friend. Indeed.
And our other friend, Jeff Wagstaff.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And across from me is world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute.
I'm not your friend.
Whoa. Oh.
He's
I'm friendly, though.
He's our family. He's our family.
He's family,
yes. See,
Indeed.
you know, if you're suffering with back pain, there's a big difference between just plain old minimally invasive and the Bonati spine procedures. And that difference has to do with the family-like care you receive at the Bonati Spine Institute. The fact that we have patented exclusive methods that help get to the root cause of the pain and not just treat a symptom. You have conscious IV sedation, so you're awake, aware, and somewhat alert and interactive during that surgery. So you can help guide the doctor to that root cause of the pain and help it become eradicated. They're targeted procedures with pinpoint accuracy. We hit the 50,000 mark on these procedures.
Yes, we
Yay,
did.
so that's a huge benchmark. And they reflect 98.75% patient-reported success. So that speaks volumes. With that said, we have an exciting show. We have Kimma Cargill. She'll be on later to talk about the psychology of overeating, which is a big epidemic here in the United States, a very important topic there. And as well, we're going to speak with Megan Barth about the GOP debate. So
And again,
another lively
She
discussion.
was out in Vegas for this, too, so
Yes.
she'll have good insight.
That should be fun. But up first...
In today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
It is my pleasure to introduce from the Netherlands, Bonati Spine Institute patient Tini Appelman. Thank you for joining us.
Teeny, how you doing?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm here.
Good,
from the
good.
Netherlands.
Yeah, the fact that you're halfway around the world, I think we kind of got to keep that in mind, too. There might be some spaces there. Teeny's story is incredible, though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You were actually interviewed by Fox 13 many years ago. So why don't you explain what type of shape you were in and what brought you to the Bonati Spine Institute?
Yes, I saw a TV program from Dr. Bonati in the Netherlands.
Okay.
And I think this also is a Dutch woman. He come to Holland for a seminar. And then there was a TV program about him.
Okay.
And I saw that on TV, and I think maybe he can help me because I have a long time back and neck problems. And I undergo in the Netherlands also many surgeries. And they saw my MRI, and they said, we can nothing more to do for you. But I have a lot of radiation in my left leg.
Okay.
And later I am paralyzed.
Oh.
And my family doctor saw also this program, and he contacted the Bonati Institute. And then Dr. Bonati came to Holland, and I go with my family doctor to Dr. Bonati that he can see my MRIs and myself.
In person, you saw Dr. Bonati. He made the trip out to the Netherlands and spoke to you personally.
Yes. He came for more Dutch patients and also for a seminar. And I visit him
Yes.
with my family doctor.
Well, Teeny, let's back up for a minute.
Yeah.
What kind of shape were you in? You said that you were paralyzed. You saw some
Right.
people around, some physicians and specialists over there in the Netherlands. Where was your pain in your body, and how was it affecting your movement, your mobility, and your daily life?
Yeah, I could not walk. I could not use my left hand, also paralyzed. And I have a lot of back pain. The whole day I lay down on my bed.
Wow. So she was almost a quadriplegic. She couldn't move her legs, so she couldn't move her
No
left
quality
arm.
of life.
Absolutely not.
A few years ago when we were first putting together the concept of this radio show and the TV show, meeting with Kimberly and Amir, who's been on the show previously,
Sure.
they showed me the video. The local Fox affiliate here in Tampa had interviewed Teeny.
Yes.
And we remember, Teeny, when you got off the airplane, you were on a stretcher or in a wheelchair.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Yes, I lay down in the airplane, We must bought 7 tickets
Okay.
for lay down and on a stretcher. And they bring me to Hudson, to Temp. Yeah, I think Orlando the first time.
Okay.
And later I go with a special car to the institute.
Tell us what it was like when you got to the institute and how the process began.
I'm not good understand.
Oh, how was the process from the time you got brought in on the stretcher at the institute? Walk us through that process.
Yes, I was later in a wheelchair.
Okay.
And Dr. Bonatti saw the new MRIs.
Okay.
And he said, I can help you, but first we go for pain relief only.
Sure.
And that was for me very nice, because I think if I less pain is better for me than a lot of pain.
Okay.
And he did one surgery in my first in my neck.
In your neck.
Because my arm was later paralyzed than my leg.
Right.
And first he started with my arms, and after one surgery I could move my thumb. And later I need a few surgeries in my neck more, and with training and exercise I can use my left arm. And we are very, very happy because I stayed there a few weeks, I think 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I fly back to Holland.
Uh-huh.
And I must come back a few months later. And he said also, I will try to do more surgeries in your back.
Okay.
And also we did, but also we must buy a lot of tickets. And my children stay at home. My husband was at home. Dus there I found somebody volunteer for help me in Hudson to drive me to clinic.
Okay.
And they care of me, they cooking for me. We rent a house, we rent a car. And after the many surgeries, I can little bit feel better. But he said to me, Tini, I need you 1 year more. I think, 1 year more? And we organize at home also that everything go on. And they make for me a foundation from my husband's school. Okay. And then we have the money to come back for 1 year.
Wow.
After this year, I was much better, but not be able to move to walk.
Okay.
And I stayed 1 year more. I stayed there 2 years.
Okay.
And after 2 years, I was be able to walk a little bit in the clinic. Mm-hmm. And difficult for me, but every day I must do exercise together with Dr. Bonatti in the lunch. Everybody saw me that I tried to walk with tears because it was difficult and pain. But now, it's many, many years later, and you see my video now.
Yes.
I walk my street.
We see your video. We're actually playing the clips that you posted onto YouTube.
Yes.
I start to tear up.
In the Dropbox.
Yes,
I can do that, and today we try, and I think it is. You can see them. The quality is better in Dropbox than in YouTube from the video.
But Tini, I start to tear up because I've seen the video that was played here in Tampa Bay, and it shows you standing and trying to move, and it shows Dr. Bonatti so many feet away from you, motioning, walk towards me,
encouraging her,
and
to come.
You do it, and it was such an arduous process, but so important to you.
Yes,
and you were taking
I know.
steps when you were pretty much paralyzed, because I'm not sure if we touched upon this or not, but you had pedicle screws that were put in the vertebrae in your neck. And so you weren't really able to have much quality of life. And those are the things that he had to remove and rectify when you came to the Bonatti Spine Institute with his patented procedures and the tools that he invented. They got you back on your feet with your hard work walking around.
Yes, I walk in my garden. I can do a little bit shopping, and I am be able now to care of my husband. But now my husband have a very big problem.
Yes.
Also, he needs a wheelchair.
Yeah.
If I not helped, Dr. Bonatti not help me, I was not be able to care of my husband now. But now I can do that.
Hey, Tini, Tell me what's going on with your husband. What is he in the wheelchair?
My husband?
Yeah.
Yes, he has a torn aorta, and he needs a very big surgery. And after the surgery, he was paralyzed.
He had a back surgery?
No, heart surgery.
Oh, heart surgery.
Aorta. You understand aorta?
Yeah. Oh, the aorta. Okay. Oh, okay.
Aorta rupture,
Yeah.
a rupture aorta.
Yeah.
In his a torn in his aorta.
Rupture.
Oh, that's how he got paralyzed. Okay, it was a vascular problem,
After
huh?
the surgery, because they must do a plastic tube in his body.
Yeah.
And a long time he needs a machine for his lung and his heart.
Yeah.
And in his back there come not good air, and that make him paralyzed from his chest till his toes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tini.
Goodness.
Yes, he can only use his arms and for all the things. But in the morning time, I have nurse to help him.
Yeah.
Because I am not be able to do that. My back is better, but if I do too much, then I feel a little bit pain. I must a little bit care of my back.
Yeah. But your initial surgery was at least a decade ago. I think you had actually first come in to the Institute, I believe, in the 90s.
I'm sorry?
From what I understand,
Back in the 90s,
Back
yeah.
in the 90s is when you first came to the Institute, if I'm not mistaken.
The line is not so good.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it was decades ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
and we just saw she's
yeah.
walking around in her garden.
Yes.
She's trimming her Christmas tree. She seems to be.
Yes.
and she's taking care of her husband.
That's right.
That's in a wheelchair.
Also, and I can go out with my grandchild. Also, I'm grandmother now, and I feel
Nice.
very, very happy. Before it was a very difficult time in America.
Yeah.
But now we are very happy that we are going. And also my kids have her mom back.
That is so great
And my
to hear.
husband also. We are very, very grateful to Dr. Bonatti.
Well, thank you for sharing your story with us, Tini Appelman from the Netherlands. Thank you so much. Continued good health. And I love the post on Facebook. So make sure you keep in touch with us.
Thanks, Teeny.
And Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
What a nice lady.
Such a touching story.
She's amazing. And this is a testament to what the Bonati spine procedures can do. So if you or someone you know is suffering with neck, back, sciatic pain, anything remotely like what Tini Appelman had, reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute, 855-267-0483. He got her from being nearly paralyzed to walking. Took a little bit of time, but she is walking proof that his procedures work. Stay tuned. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free. which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here. Here to be glad.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Hey, Kimberly.
And
for
world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute.
There's shenanigans going on in here.
My finger's still trembling.
He's trying to press buttons, and he hasn't quite mastered that yet, but he's a fantastic surgeon. Mm-hmm. He has mastered the Bonati spine procedures.
Of course he has.
Joining us on the line is Kemah Cargill, clinical psychology professor at the University of Washington and author of The Psychology of Overeating. And this highlights modern society's pathological need to consume. A perfect topic with the holidays coming up. So thanks for being here, Kemah.
Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I think it's pretty interesting, the angle of this book, because we
Yes.
talk about the obesity epidemic all the time. And this is the first time I've heard that it's more a psychological condition due to the materialistic nature of our society. I've never heard that before. Can you explain that, Kemah?
Sure. Well, at least in my discipline, psychology, there's an extreme focus on the individual. So you'll often come across work on neurochemistry, for example, willpower, discipline. And that's, of course, part of the story, but I think it really misses some of these bigger cultural and historical forces that process into patterns of behavior. So that's what I wanted to look at.
Okay. You liken, though, this what they're doing in the system to big pharma. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking like they're big food and big pharma are one in the same. That they're forcing these people to
eat more.
To eat more, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I do draw that parallel. Now, I wouldn't, even though I do talk about cultural and economic forces, I wouldn't go so far to say that big food and big pharma force people into certain behaviors, because I think that takes away the notion of free will. Of course, there is some free will and personal accountability, but they do a lot of very similar kinds of tactics that have to do with, sometimes it's like, for example, creating phony grassroots groups to make consumers think that regular folks just like them want to take this medicine for a condition, or promoting some kind of questionable nutritional information. And so they'll do things like that where we're not aware that it's an advertisement, for example. And so it sort of gets in under the radar and makes us more likely to consume that product, whether it's a pill, whether it's a certain kind of food. So that's just one example. That's actually one of the more benign examples of how big food and big pharma use a lot of the same tactics. Another thing that they're both doing that concerns me right now is that as American consumers have actually been getting a little bit more savvy about nutrition and maybe questioning some of these solutions, same with medications, they're both taking their markets into developing countries. So, for example, Coca-Cola is recognized that Myanmar is a huge market for soft drinks, whereas in the U.S., soda consumption is declining. And there are a number of reports out from some of the big pharma companies that they're identifying markets like India, China, Brazil and thinking about what kinds of some of them are valid medical disorders and psychiatric disorders, but sometimes they are possibly exporting a disorder like anxiety or depression so that they'll have a market for it. So we see the parallel again with those emerging markets in developing countries.
So really, they're the ultimate salespeople. They're creating a need, and then they're filling the need.
Yeah. Well, and here's what I think is funny, Kimma, is that the millennials in this new generation of, they consider themselves foodies and, everybody's organic and this and that. It's almost like they've caught on to what's being done to them. So I mean, they have to take their industry somewhere else to peddle this stuff because the market has gotten smart to what they're doing. Do you think that it's a generational thing, and do you think that this obesity epidemic will end here in the States?
I love that question because there are some indicators that might be what's happening. There was a great article in the New York Times recently that said that these sort of legacy food brands like Nabisco and Kraft, they're really losing their market share. And in fact, lots of those sort of big conglomerate type companies, they're either kind of borrowing tactics from these smaller companies like Annie's Organics, or they're buying them up. And I think you're right. I think that's being driven by millennials who are I don't know what the right word would be, maybe searching for some kind of more authenticity, kind of cultural backlash to homogenizing forces where everything's kind of the same everywhere in terms of brands.
Well, I really think there are a situation that is subliminal. Every time that you see television, the way that the advertisements are being placed by the big pharma, for example, they bypass the doctor, they bypass the healthcare, they advertise a product, and then they tell you all the complications and the contraindications you can have. And what they do with that is subliminal. They are practically make you numb to the complications, and the physician is not there to regulate. The problems, I really think the obesity and the problems with the pharma and the food is because American Medical Association is not responsible to control that. American Medical Association should introduce themselves in a comment directly saying this product is not going to be on the market unless physicians are able to study and to discuss with the patient the problems. Otherwise, patients go to the doctor and say, "Oh, I saw this in television. I want this prescription," and the same things happen with the food. So you're right. What you're saying is all subliminal.
Yep. Well, Kimma, we're just about out of time, unfortunately. In closing, very briefly, what can we as consumers do to curb this psychological assault from big food and keep from getting fat?
That's a great question. I know everybody wants individual solutions, but as we've been talking about today, and as Dr. Bonatti, I think, just pointed out very well, these are problems with regulation and with professionals, doctors, nutritionists taking a stand against these corporate influences. So I think a really smart thing people can do is hold politicians accountable, press the FDA to regulate these things better, and then to try to really think about, to try to uncover advertising and really think about when people are trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Just follow the money.
This topic could go on for hours, I'm sure. Joining us again, Kimma Cargill, clinical psychology professor at the University of Washington and author of The Psychology of Overeating. Thank you so much for your time and being on the program.
Thanks
Kimma.
all of you.
All right, you have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's an important one. Know when you're being marketed to, folks.
All the time.
Yep. Well, coming up after the break, you're going to hear from the lady who was at the GOP debate.
Megan Barth, yeah.
Yes.
She's going to be good.
Make sure you stay tuned. You're listening to American Medicine Today. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonatti Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonatti spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for continuing to listen to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here as always.
Junior Mint, Jeff Wagstaff.
Thanks for having me.
And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonatti of the Bonatti Spine Institute.
Here I am.
We are excited because we were all sitting in front of the last GOP debate in Las Vegas.
I wasn't.
Oh, come on. I know you were.
I watched about an hour and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, it was not a snoozer.
Somebody who was there, though.
Yes. Well, here to recap the big GOP debate in Las Vegas on Tuesday night was someone who was actually there, Megan Barth. And she is a nationally recognized political commentator and women's advocate and founder of ReaganBaby.com. Thanks for being here, Megan.
Well, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Now, you were there, Megan.
Reagan Baby, that is very good.
Don't you love that? ReaganBaby.com. She's very, very conservative. You were there, Megan, out in Vegas. In fact, I saw on your Facebook page, you got a picture with Senator Ted Cruz. That was kind of cool.
Right.
Maybe we can talk about that in a little bit. But what was the vibe out there? And were there any Trump protesters, any kind of craziness going on?
Why protesters? They should be supporters. What do you
A lot of people don't like Trump. I don't know if this is news to you, Doc.
All right.
Megan, correct this guy immediately.
What did you say? What did you see when you were there, Megan?
Well, I live in Las Vegas, so
Okay.
I was able to get down there for a couple days. And on Monday, I went to a Trump rally to cover it. And there were some BLM, Black Lives Matter protesters who were hurriedly removed from the room. He drew about...
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
Doc loves it.
They've got this down to a science.
Well, as soon as they start their stuff, Megan, Trump is always like, "Get him the hell out of here."
Exactly,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
rightfully so. You know, a typical mob tactic of the left is to squelch free speech and make sure that there's no dissenting opinions available, or else they'll call it hate speech.
Yes.
Dissent, I guess, used to be patriotic, but you know, so they were hurriedly removed. But there were no Trump, you know, there were no, you know, Trump ralliers or protesters rather at the debate.
Okay.
There were a lot of Bush supporters in the debate hall.
Really?
And I was surprised to see that because it did not represent the 2% polling numbers that he has right now.
Yeah.
But then you look at it from an outside perspective and you say, okay, well, it was CNN and it was Salem Media, and you would expect that the donors of the GOP that were able to perhaps access tickets do have more of an establishment type of lean. And so, you know, as far as Bush supporters is concerned, I think that's why there was probably more supporters than average.
Well, and speaking of Bush, he finally, you know, decided to get a spine, I guess, and decided to take on Trump
So what
a
the
little bit.
spine? As soon as he talked, the
shut him
railroad
down.
him.
No, I'm not saying he didn't, but you
I
know,
mean,
it was so one-sided.
I think he was very sorry that he said anything.
But that, in all fairness,
you know,
that has to be the surprise of the primary. I'm sorry, Megan. Go
It
ahead.
was funny. Why?
It was funny because I was sitting, I got there a little late, and I ended up sitting next to Michael Steele, the former RNC chairman. And when Bush was given the opportunity to speak at the first time he did, he started insulting Trump. And both Michael and I looked at each other and said, what is he doing?
Bad move.
You know, this circular firing squad that the establishment GOP has set up against the outsiders, whether it be Cruz or Trump or Carson, is backfiring, and it continues to backfire, as you see in their polling numbers.
Yes.
And when you insult the leader, whether you like Donald Trump or not, if the GOP insults Donald Trump, they are insulting 41% of his polling, of his supporters.
I mean, what is there to insult anyway? The guy has so much common sense. Everything that he said then later on becomes in tremendous criticism. And in a couple of weeks, everybody's talking about the same thing in pulling the wagon in the same direction that he does.
He has a lot of good talking points.
See, Megan, I told you before we went on the air, I said, listen, Dr. Bonatti is the biggest cheerleader for Trump, and he can do no wrong in Doc's eyes.
But I like Cruz, too, and Cruz and Rubio kind of went at it back and forth.
Finally.
Yeah.
People have been wanting to see that. Your thoughts on that?
And I think that was one of the best parts of the debate is because we really saw the bifurcation in the GOP. We saw someone like Rubio, who has more of a foreign policy and spending stance in line with the establishment, like the Lindsey Grahams, the John McCains,
right?
And even and what Rand Paul did in the debate was perfect. It was a great debate tactic. What he did is he compared and aligned Rubio with Chuck Schumer on immigration.
Oh, that was killer.
It was killer.
Yeah.
And so what we see now is we see more of a libertarian, I would say constitutional conservative like the Paul and the Cruz up against the establishment who just gave us an omnibus bill funding all of the Democrats' presence this holiday season. We didn't defund Planned Parenthood. We are funding now illegal immigration.
Right.
We are funding climate change. And the GOP is going to suffer greatly.
Yeah, we need to erase this party and create a new one.
Well, here's the thing, Megan, and here's my thoughts. And I know, again, Doc is a huge Trump fan. I'm not a Trump basher, but I'm also not a huge supporter. I don't really support anybody. But here, I want to get your thoughts too, Doc. I see a lot of the liberal media comparing. I mean, we've seen Trump compared to Hitler. They say he's a racist.
Well,
he's
they are
bigot.
idiots all over, man. That thing doesn't mean that you are going to believe in that.
Yeah.
No.
The situation is that you need to just use common sense. Everything that he said is really common sense. Is the Middle America. Middle America feels, talks, and discuss the things that he does. And for the rest of the GOP, it seems to be that they are so out of touch. They don't understand really the concept. And this is why the guy is sorting.
Well, and everybody else wants to be so PC because they're politicians. Trump doesn't care. You know, he doesn't have a political career to implode. He doesn't care. But go ahead.
Here's the part about Trump that's really scaring me, though, is he's taking the polls.
Scared.
Well, hear me out. He's taking the polls by storm.
You're scared.
He's doing a great job. But when all of the Republicans in polling are put up against Hillary, Trump performs worse.
No, that's
than
not
any
true.
Of the,
Look, let me tell you
say,
this.
Doc.
Let me tell you this. This is what really the situation is. He is fighting. Megan, don't you think that he's fighting right now these fellow Republicans? But when he is going to direct his attacks to Hillary, she's not going to resist one day, man. He's going to sink her like lead.
Well, and that's the thing that I was just caught off guard, especially by Bush and whether it be Kasich or Lindsey Graham. What is with the circular firing squad? We have so much material to use against the Democrats, specifically on domestic and foreign policy. Hillary Clinton at the Democrat debate in Vegas, which I was at a month ago or so, declared on national TV that the Republicans were her enemy. And compared the Republicans to the Iranian regime.
Oh, wow.
So the Republicans are doing themselves a huge disservice with the circular firing squad. And Bush just came out in an interview to CNN and said, as did Tom Rich, if Trump were the nominee, he would not commit to supporting Trump over Hillary Clinton. Well, this is the problem. We can't tell the difference between a Republican and a Democrat when we look at the establishment.
Megan, I really think that I don't care about that. 3%, he can go ahead and go home with it.
Here's a question, Megan, because we only got like 3 minutes left, and I want to get again. Actually, Doc doesn't know about this because we teased him with it before we came to this segment. Putin came out earlier this week as a major supporter of Donald Trump, and they have the media. The New York Times called it a long-distance bromance. It's actually really funny. Did you hear about that, Megan?
I did.
and I mean, does that bode well for Trump's reputation and his image? Because most Americans think Putin is eventually going to be our enemy. So if he's endorsing Trump, then, that's not good.
It's not good. Yeah, that's excellent.
But when you look at it from a leadership perspective, Donald Trump fills a void that has been lacking in this administration for 7 years. I have never seen a president come out after a terrorist attack and declare that it was due to gun violence and we need gun control. After that Oval Office speech, there was not one American, especially within the GOP, that felt safer. As a matter of fact, another poll was taken and 76% of Americans believe there will be another one. Who filled the void right after that speech? It was Donald Trump.
Right.
And he talked about immigration and he talked about the influx of Syrian refugees, specifically Muslim refugees. And people attached themselves. He saw a rise in his numbers. So when it comes from leadership, Putin took the lead of bombing the heck out of Syria and bombing the oil reserves. We did not bomb the oil reserves, according to Obama and his administration, because we were afraid of environmental damage.
Right, because it's all we all know the terrorists, these poor people, if they were just a little bit cooler,
right,
they wouldn't be so hot-tempered.
All right, we only got about a minute left. Any closing statements, Doc?
No, I'm enjoying it.
So, Megan, I mean, in conclusion, who do you think got the best of that debate, and what do we have to look forward to, especially with Iowa coming up and all of that? What's next?
She doesn't think she knows.
She doesn't know?
She knows.
You know, I wouldn't say that there was a clear winner in the debate. I thought that there were
you disappoint me.
I thought there were a lot of clear winning statements. Trump was very measured in his response, and he seems to be taking on what I would say a more tenable, tangible, softer image. However, I'm a bomb thrower. I have been a bomb thrower for quite some time, and I don't do it to hurt people. I do it to wake people up. And I think what would really wake up the GOP is if Trump selected Cruz as a running mate, what would then the conservatives do?
That's great.
Cruz is running for vice president, I believe.
He's running since the beginning.
We'll see. We're out of time.
We need to have you on again, Megan.
we
so
need to
hopefully
talk
you'll
more.
join us again.
Absolutely.
And we have other discussions about Obamacare in the future. So.
Oh, fantastic! That's definitely one of my points of contention and how I got really involved in the cause.
Great. Well, we reserve the right to have you back on. This is Megan Barth, nationally recognized political commentator, women's advocate, and founder of ReaganBaby.com.
She's a real Reagan baby.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks.
Thank
Take care.
We'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Oh, I love that
Told you
discussion.
she's gonna be good.
Great. Yep.
Awesome.
Well, you're listening to American Medicine Today. Remember, if you're suffering with neck, back, or sciatic pain, reach out to Bonati.com or call 855-267-0483. Coming up after the break, well, we're going to hear what's new in American Medicine Today. Make sure you stay tuned. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
You are listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell with our friends Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Jeffrey Wagstaff.
Thanks for having me.
And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati at the Bonati Spine Institute.
Hi.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
So, Dr. Bonati, United Healthcare, right? That's the topic?
Yeah.
Well,
I really admire Steve Helmsley. Not only he is an incredibly intelligent individual who managed the United Healthcare in the right direction, but at the same time, very wise. Immediately he smelled the bad smell of Obamacare, and immediately he put some solutions. One of the solutions was to try to stop paying commissions to their representatives that are in commission.
Right.
So they reduced the 10% commission to 2% commission,
Right.
and then probably is going to stop totally the relationship with Obamacare in the 2017.
Right.
One of the important things here is this. This is again an incredible, intelligent move to create insurance, responsible insurance for the society.
Right.
Right now, the society is suffering a backlash of an incredible hypocrite like Obama,
Yes.
who lied to the country, lied to them healthcare, lied to the doctors, lied to the patients, and then suddenly now is receiving
Criticism.
a backlash of his own garbage. Now, one of the things that we need to do is start to study the direction of this United Healthcare. The people should start to look and start to change. This insurance is the insurance of the future.
Correct.
And they need to start to look. It's not expensive. It's an insurance that is responsible.
Right.
It's responsible to society. Before they have an incredible good relationship with doctors, incredible relationship with patients, and still they have that. But he said something like the exchange and the relationship with Obamacare was a mistake.
Okay.
A bad mistake.
Yeah,
a bad decision.
But that's because he regrets participating in the bailout that came up $2.5 billion short.
Exactly. But that is because they tricked the insurance company. What they did is they promised them to bail out the insurance company.
Right.
Well, you need to understand a good business.
Substandard care, bailing out the insurance company.
Yeah, but a good business people will go ahead and look for their
Company.
business. Okay,
Right.
so, but that backfired.
Yes.
Because Senator Marco Rubio is leading the fight against the bailouts.
Yeah.
And stop the Congress to pay.
Yeah.
And as soon as they did that one, the return money that the government gave to the insurance company was $325 million, I think. But the deficit is $2 billion,
Right.
$2.9 billion.
Of which they defunded Medicare to cover cost of Obamacare. So all you hard workers out there, liberals included, all those of you that had money taken out of your paycheck, so you have Social Security and health care, guess what? You were defunded. You were frauded. That's Obama in this administration.
Well, anything that he touches becomes rust. So,
well, where do you think it's going to go, Doc? I mean,
I think this is the first bailout of the insurance. The insurance start to they need to respond to the shareholders, and a good administrator is going to look immediately for the health of their business. And this man is brilliant. Is bailing out very fast, so it's not going to suffer another backlash.
Right.
And what is going to happen, because they are not going to be bailout money.
Right.
The other insurance companies are going to go in the tail, but the beauty of the United Healthcare is that he is going to start to grab the market, and the market, the people is going to go. I need a good healthcare. It's going to move in that direction.
Right, but I have a bone to pick with that statement. You know, it's a business move, yes, but it should also be what it's providing for the insured. And they weren't giving them good enough health care.
Well, I am a physician, and I'm telling you this. I deal every single day with United Healthcare and with Blue Cross and Blue Shield and all the other insurance.
But I'm saying through Obamacare.
Well, I'm talking about this. Is nothing in the market, despite that Obamacare is in the middle. nothing in the market is in comparison to the United Healthcare. United Healthcare is responsible to the doctors, responsible to the patients.
Right.
Is an incredible good insurance.
Yes.
Was harmed by the association,
Correct.
but they immediately
see the
Mr.
wrong
Hemsley
and
stop the bleeding,
Yes.
and is going to catch the market.
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today with Alfred Bonatti, MD.
Well, kudos to Stephen Hemsley.
By the way, as you guys know,
Yes.
I've been trying to get him on the show for
I know.
several weeks now, and apparently they have a very small media team
Yes.
of like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And they just get hundreds of requests every day.
Right.
So
But the second-
Probably is because this situation will stop paying commissions for Obamacare.
Right.
Everybody's now interested.
Downsize.
Yes, exactly.
Going back to what you said, hopefully we're able to book him.
No,
Yeah.
I'm tireless.
Exactly.
I'll keep at
The
it.
second time opens up, Stephen Hemsley. You're on. You are listening to American Medicine Today. That about wraps things up. So we want to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
And a Happy New Year.
Indeed. Feliz Navidad.
Yes, make sure you check us out nationally on Bloomberg, both Saturdays and Sundays, and here in Tampa, WFTS. Check out Bonatti.com too. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.